Hello, this is a ton of open studio, a holly jolly edition. In normal times, I'm front of house, so I always work holiday nights. So it felt really proper to come on and do the stream. Regardless of what day it is. So happy to be here. I don't have any tracks in my inbox, probably due to the holidays. So, just a little bit of housekeeping and everything. Just so everyone knows, this is a ton of open studio. This is a nightly stream. It's at 6 p.m. Eastern. People can send tracks to a ton of records at gmail.com, and I will play them back on stream, give some top down style mix feedback. We dial in, mix issues, room issues, ways to tighten things up, ways to make songs more exciting. And we have a good time here. Now, how I am trying to get like a really, really consistent format on this so that, we kind of have a like general agenda from night to night. So for the first 10 or 15 minutes, I just kind of wait for people to show up in stream, see if we get some tracks, see if we get some questions. So, that's the time that we're in now, first 10 minutes. Um, and then I was thinking about there's this like within this format of the people that send tracks in, about half of you are live in chat during the stream, and then the other half, I mean, we have people from all over the world. So I know there's a lot of people depending on the replays to you know work with their tracks. So last night I tried kind of setting like a time zone, I was like at 1 hour in, we're gonna do the tracks that people aren't here to listen to, and that like almost worked. But then it was like I got sidetracked by a really good question, and like I obviously want to dedicate the live time to the people that are live on stream, so it's kind of unpredictable. So, uh, what and this came it literally came to me in a dream. So what I'm going to experiment with is when I get a track that like in my inbox and for whatever reason someone can't make it to the stream, I'm going to record that segment and then upload it separately to YouTube. And that way I can do it in the moment when I'm streaming, because full disclosure, I'm generally here like 2 to 3 hours a night, and that is definitely all the time that I would rather put my time into doing feedback and going through people's tracks than like cataloging and organizing like 100 hours of streaming a month. That sounds nightmarish. So that's how I think I'm going to be able to do this. So if you're live on chat and you've got something, I'm going to deal with you on stream, because that's obviously the benefit of having this live, is that we can actually like talk to each other and figure stuff out. But while still respecting that a lot of people watch these replays to check their track out, later. So I'm going to record when I'm, talking to an invisible person and upload that separately. And I think that that's just going to dial this in really nicely. In the future, after this is like up and running, I really want to have this like at a consistent time nightly, while we, get some folks in here regularly, and I don't want to like change things or make it different. But then I'm also thinking in the future, I might do like an every other day. The stream happens at a different time so that we can accommodate people in different time zones. Because something that I have noticed and that I think is super cool is this is an international group of people that are sending in tracks. So I want to acknowledge everyone's time and work from there. So always feel free, you can drop me a message and be like, that works, that doesn't work. cetera, et cetera. And Rain, good to see you in chat. A happy Christmas to you as well. Okay, so just getting this going. This is a ton of open studio. This is the first 10 minutes of the stream, so I dedicate that time to just letting people get into chat, send tracks if you've got them, and I kind of just explain the stream a few times during this 10-minute period. As of this moment, I don't have any tracks for the night. So I still wanted to, turn on the camera, turn on the stream, see if anybody gets in here, see if any tracks come in. So I'll definitely hang out for a bit here and see if some stuff comes in, or if you've got any general questions, thoughts, or concerns, you can ask in chat. And yeah, I mean, that's it. Gonna be basically we got 10 minutes where I just kind of like watch the viewer count, and as it ticks up and people enter the room, I explain how the stream works. That's where we're at for about 10 or 15 minutes every night at 6 p.m. Eastern. And tomorrow, I'll be back on my primary system in my mastering room. So that'll be cool. Look forward to that. Gonna toss up a. Nope, not that one. Is it this one? Nope. Make it a text bar. Cool. So you can send tracks to atonuvrecords@gmail.com at absolutely any time. I'll be streaming for, probably like an hour tonight if we don't have any tracks. And yeah, chilling and playing some video games is a pretty good way to be for this evening. I might look around for some proper tunes on my hard drive. All right, so this is a ton of Open Studio. This is a nightly mix feedback live stream. It's at 6 p.m. Eastern nightly. And if you have a mix that you've been working on and you want to send it for some top-down, like mix feedback, we can figure out where your bass is sitting, if your kick is getting flooded by some sub bass, if everything needs a little more presence overall, what could get dialed in on the mix. Is your master too loud? Are you crushing stuff too much? This is just pretty much a pure technical feedback stream. So feel free to send stuff to atonuvrecords at gmail.com. If at any point you're working on something and it's really new, or it's like a rough demo and you don't feel like having it played out to the entire world, just let me know in your email and I will play it off stream. That's absolutely no problem. Also, if you have done like a track where you're using like a 2-track beat that might have like a copyright tag on it, please let me know so that I can play it off a stream, and that way we don't get copyright clapped. So just give me a heads up on that front too. So yeah, this is on the daily. And yeah, feel free to send something in if you got it. I'm just kind of like watching my email and stuff. And if you have any sort of audio question, or you're just kind of like stumped on something in a mix, feel free to ask in chat and we can go through it too. That's always available. Now, normally I kind of take the first 10 minutes and let tracks come in, but I also know that today is Christmas. So I still wanted to come on and do the stream, keep it consistent, but we might just not have any tracks today. So that is totally cool as well. And what I am thinking too is to standardize this. People sometimes send in tracks earlier in the day or at like 6 in the morning, because we get people from all over the world sending stuff in, and then they are watching the replay of the stream the next day. And sometimes these are like 3 hours long. And I recognize that that must be a huge pain in the butt for people that are counting on the replay. So what I will be experimenting with from today forward is I'm going to hit record on my streaming setup so that whenever I address a track where someone isn't in chat, I'm just going to upload that segment separately. That's like the perfect mix of like, that's very easy for me to do. It's kind of automatically handled. I don't have to spend like an additional hour archiving and cataloging the stream. And then you're going to be able to hop on and see your stuff, the next day and not have to search for it on a 3-hour stream. So that's going to be new to the system in the next little bit. I'm like, why am I doing this? Uh, Due to pandemic, I found that um, the skill set that I was most able to still do was mastering, which I've always done. Uh, or I mean, not always, but for the last 10 years. But in addition, I was doing a lot of mixing and live sound and live tracking, and the mastering perspective just lent itself to uh, pandemic times. And as I just started doing it every single day, my favorite part of like great mastering is the pushback on a mix that you offer as a mastering engineer. That's that's what great mastering is. It's that step beyond just like I make you louder. Um and I realized that I could just do it in this open format and kind of share some open source style info, and that's like why this stream exists, in case anyone was wondering at any point, like why are you doing this? A buddy actually just sent me a track. I'm going to listen to it off stream. Cool. Yeah, so that's just checked out a buddy's track and I'm texting them about it. So that's good stuff. All right, if you are tuning in, wondering what's going on, this is a ton of Open Studio. I'm Scott. I'm here every night at 6 p.m. Eastern. You can send in mixes to get top-down mix feedback, dial in your room, dial in your moves, dial in your mindset. And it is Christmas. I do recognize this. So uh, the chance of us having a track to look at tonight is low. And that is totally fine. I'm going to be here to keep this thing consistent. If you are watching the replay over the next day, this is probably a nothing burger. But we're gonna stick around until 7 Eastern and see if we get a track or two. And until then, we're just chilling in the studio. A very nice place to be. If you've got something that you want to send in, you can send it to atonuvrecords@gmail.com at absolutely any time. If you've got something that you don't want played on stream, just let me know in the email, and I will mute the stream and check it out in the room, but not broadcast it to the public. Always an option. Or if you want to have your stuff played for a few people and get some additional perspectives, that's cool too. It all exists. We're here every day. There's also a Discord that I just started. If you want an invite, you can pop me an email. And that's going to be a spot where we can, interact. It's a really, really cool community that already exists. Post works in progress, collaborate, and work on dialing in these mixes. And yeah, we're here on Christmas 2020. It's really cool to spend it with a few people on stream. Tracks can get sent in absolutely anytime to atonuvrecords@gmail.com. I'm here nightly at 6 p.m. Eastern. And as of this moment, I don't have anything on in my inbox, which I was basically expecting. But I do love having the stream be really consistent. I started doing this a few months ago, and it was really, really great. And I dropped off the map because of internet issue. I wasn't getting reliable upload speeds, so I had to take a couple of months off. And that made it really clear that a huge part of maintaining this is a consistency of doing this every day, even if, something's not going exactly right or tracks aren't in. I have become aware that you got to let people know that this is like a thing that exists. Which, speaking of which, we're probably in for another like 4 to 8 months of not really existing in the real world. So this is obviously pandemic inspired to be doing the stream in the first place, but just so folks know, uh, this has become really, really, really cool to me. And even once I'm able to like go and get a cup of coffee from my favorite spots and like work a live show every now and then, uh, gonna keep doing the stream. Like, absolutely. It's just been so cool. I heard, like, last night, and honestly, every night, some of the best tracks that I've heard all year have come from people sending stuff into this stream. And it's made it really clear the power of um, people who want to improve their mixes just try way harder and make really, really incredible stuff. So, uh, as someone who likes music, uh, this is really, really great for me. And yeah, in case anyone's out there wondering, is this stream going to go away? Nah, I'm having way too much fun, which is, I guess, when there are no tracks, it's just kind of like philosophy time. I think that that is just the core of inhabiting like a mastering mindset is that you have to like music. That's kind of your job at that point is to um, I throw on just a bunch of music. Like I wake up, I put on a bunch of music to warm up my ears, warm up my system, get accustomed. I throw on, a playlist that has some old stuff, some, I just kind of go through time. I start with like some 50s and 60s, accelerate time, 70s, 80s, 90s, get into the modern era, all the way up to just whatever's on the top 40 now, and just kind of inhabit that mind space of like what is happening, what has happened, what might happen in the future as far as just like final audio, and then start listening to client tracks and finding that place to put them in context, which is the overall mindset, and then it's you have to examine the big context of what is happening now, and then also the micro context of what is happening throughout this album, and preserving that album's intention while also making that album a consistent experience from track to track, within itself and from without itself, from the zeitgeist, as I say all the time. uh, and that's what's so fun about it. You just have to like music, and I am honestly thankful for this experience, that I've been able to kind of reestablish a relationship and a connection to music in this way during these last few months. Just really uh, dedicating and disciplining to this mindset and daily action. Uh, I don't want to be like too silver lining, because obviously this is not the most amazing Christmas that we're all experiencing right now, but I'm just very thankful for that. And just a little bit of positivity for you. So this is the positivity stream for Christmas 2020. If you are watching and wondering what this stream is normally about, this is the A Ton of Open Studio stream. I'm Scott. I'm an audio engineer, and people send tracks to atonuvrecords at gmail.com, that email address over my face. And I take a listen on stream, and we dial in just some really, really solid feedback and advice, technical support. Maybe a reverb needs to be a little bit shorter. Maybe it needs to be a little bit longer. Maybe it's a little bit muddy. We just kind of take a look at your track as a whole, figure out what's going on in the mix, go through some like really, really, nitty gritty technical options on how to clean up your track. Maybe there's a mindset thing. Maybe there's something going on in your room. We can figure that all out on stream. I'm here 6 p.m. Eastern daily, so you can count on that. And at any time, you can send tracks to atonuvrecords@gmail.com. For tonight, for the next little bit, I am just making sure that this stream stays consistent. So even when I don't have tracks in my inbox, I'm going to hang out here until like 7 o'clock probably tonight, just so folks know that this just definitely always is here. I'm really, really happy to do it. Going back to the positivity stuff from a few minutes ago. And it's been really cool seeing that people have been sharing the link to the stream, which has definitely kept it really, really like the proper environment, like in chat. Everyone's very constructive and supportive of each other. And I think that's because it's very word of mouth. People are sharing the link around, and it's staying. I'm very, very happy that this is like a nice, constructive, positive community, because I think that like there's always technical things that could be fixed in a mix, but definitely within like engineering mindset. And I don't like. It's not all butterflies and rainbows here. We fix problems, we find problems, but it's really easy to get overly negative within the audio engineering world. And thus far, we just have a really, really, really good. We've got a great vibe going. So I appreciate everyone going and sharing this link. It's getting people in, and I like having tracks in front of me because I definitely like feed off of the thing. I like to have like a nice grounding center of a track to concentrate on. Otherwise, I could, this would just turn into rear bus compression podcast every single night, or whatever I'm obsessed with at any given time. So your tracks absolutely keep me on target when you send them in. So we've got tracks coming in from all over the world on a daily basis, and we have amazing people hanging out in chat every night. So thank you for sharing the link. Thank you for sending in tracks. It's been really, really cool. If you are just walking into the room and wondering what the heck this is Atonuv Open Studio. I'm Scott. I'm here every night at 6 p.m. Eastern, and people send in tracks to the email on my face, atonuvrecords@gmail.com. I play them on stream and give top-down style feedback on how to tighten up this mix, take it to the next level, and fix like systemic problems that are happening throughout like multiple mixes. Maybe there's something in your overall workflow that could get tightened up. Maybe your room is betraying you a little bit. Maybe you've got like perfect ears but a bad room. I see that more often than not. Like, people are good at knowing what music should sound like, and it's just sometimes we get bottlenecked by our environment. So we fix that up. And at any time, you can send in those tracks. It is Christmas 2020, and I am probably not going to get stuff tonight. I went into this stream knowing that it was going to be slim pickings, but I believe in consistency of practice. So we're here. I'm really happy to be here with the folks, just kind of hanging around. I bet we're all kind of wondering, is something going to come into this email inbox? I don't know. But yeah, that's the basic format. 6 p.m. nightly. You can send stuff in. If you've got something that is like rough, a demo, or it's totally finished and you just don't want it to leak before you release it, just let me know in my inbox and I will mute the stream when I listen to it. So that's always an option. And also, just definitely let me know if you've done like a vocal over a 2-track that might be copyright tagged. Let me know because I'm going to mute that on stream so that we don't get clapped because that would be a bummer. So, yeah, in those 3 situations, like you've got something that you just don't want people to hear, it's about to be released and you don't want it to get leaked, or it's got some sort of copy, it's a cover, or you're doing like a remix or something like that, let me know and I'm going to mute it on stream. And a new thing that I'm going to start doing from here on out, and this is usually this kind of like repeated spiel is usually relegated to like the first 10 or 15 minutes of every stream to get new people on board. But tonight might as well just be the public service announcement stream. I have recognized that there are people sending in tracks from all over the world. So, there's no perfect time to have this stream, and a lot of people are watching the replays, like over the next couple of days, to see their feedback on their track. And these streams are occasionally 3 hours long, so that has to be nightmarish to people. And I've been trying to figure out the perfect way to deal with this because I want it to be like useful for everybody. Last night I like committed at the beginning of the stream. I was like at 1 hour in, I'm going to start going through tracks that got sent in by people that aren't in chat right now. And it almost worked, but like at the hour mark, I was like right in the middle of like some really solid like room fixing stuff. So it got a little bit messy, and obviously I want to prioritize people that are like live in chat so that we can talk and figure stuff out together. That's the point of doing this live. So I tried that last night. It was better, but it wasn't perfect. So from here on out, my thought, and I'm pretty sure this is going to work, is when I'm doing a track that the person isn't in chat, I'm just going to hit record on my streaming software and then upload that clip separately from the live stream on the YouTube. All of the replays and everything are hosted on the Atonuv streaming YouTube page. Twitch is all live if you're watching on Twitch. I think that's going to just be best of both worlds. You're going to be able to send stuff in. If you're from a place where 6 p.m. Eastern time is just not reasonable for you, you're going to be able to watch and get right to your bit and get rid of all that searching and hunting. And I think that's just going to make it nicer for everybody. Also, like at this time, like for the next couple of months, I want to keep this really, really consistent in that it is daily and at 6 p.m. Eastern. I think that just makes it really clear and kind of easy for everybody. I don't want to do like a bunch of different times. But after we get like really used to everything and have like a really solid like follow alert system going and, all of that, I'm going to play with, this is a future idea, and let me know what times you think would work, but a schedule in which different days start at different times so that hopefully we can get more of those folks on different time schedules than me and other people. So we'll figure that out in the future. But I do like to plan ahead a little bit. I've also been reaching out to friends who own studios and do like similar things to what I do, and I'm going to start bringing people on to stream. I mean, I'm going to have to like dial in some technical stuff and get this figured out to make it work for everybody, but I'll bring on like guest engineers every now and then, and we'll kind of like you know do a little bit of like a audio engineer podcast style thing. We'll talk about our favorite way to deal with certain issues within the audio field, and then also kind of like do group. People can send stuff in, and then we'll both kind of analyze it. It'll be cool. I'm pretty excited about that. That'll be happening in mid to late January. We'll start adding that in to the format. I'm stoked on that. Cool. And yeah, I appreciate people just kind of hanging out. It's definitely a quiet, slow night, a silent night, if you would. But I see that we've got people just kind of hanging out, and that is really cool. And that helps the algorithm recognize that this exists, and that's helpful, and I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all. So yeah, folks, I'm gonna hang out until 7. So that's like 15 minutes. And if we happen to get a mix, which holiday miracle, always possible, immaculate mixception. If we get something, totally gonna go through it, do the whole thing. And if not, I'm gonna go ahead and call it at 7. It's been, uh, this is honestly, I am looking forward to this block of time daily at this point. It's really fun. Happy to be here. Super positive vibes. Okay. And as contractually obligated to myself, I'm going to go ahead and do the nightly Patreon shout out. Let me pull that up. So, there is a Patreon that exists. It's in the description, and I really appreciate the folks that kind of help make this stream feasible. And one of the perks that you get is a daily shout out on stream. So we've got 5 very cool patrons. We've got Mason, Tyler, Synux, Elias, and Ian. So thank you very much. This is your official daily Patreon shout out. Thank you very much for making this stream possible. And folks, this is a Ton of Open Studio. This is a daily live stream in which people can send mixes that they are working on to atonuvrecords@gmail.com. I'm here nightly at 6 p.m. Feel free to send stuff at absolutely any time, and I will give some thorough, detailed technical feedback on your mix, help figure out what's going on in your frequency spectrum. Maybe that snare could be a little bit beefier. Maybe your kick is getting clouded by your sub bass. How can we bring out some nice detail in that vocal without it being harsh? That's what we're worried about here. This is what we'll dial in all the way up to, you're in a situation where you have to master the track yourself. You just don't have the budget and you really need something to be sounding its best while you send it around. I understand where you're at when you're doing that. So we can take a look and make sure that you are delivering final levels that will still compete with industry tracks if you're in a position where you got to do it all yourself. Happy to take a look at that. And at absolutely any time, you can send tracks in. It is Christmas 2020. I am not expecting a bunch of people to be here tonight. So I'm running the stream. I'm going to hang out until about 7 o'clock, see if any mixes come in. If not, we're going to go ahead and call it. We'll call it for the night. I'll be back at it tomorrow. And yeah, at any time, feel free to ask a question in chat if you're just like wrangling something in your current recording setup. We don't do a lot of gear talk, but I definitely am unfortunately quite familiar with gear. I have my list of, cool analog processors, outboard stuff. I have a collection of plugins like anyone does. And if the conversation ever steers in that way, I'm happy to do it. I'm a little bit too happy to do gear talk. It's the gear talk is probably the most alluring yet useless part of engineering, but it is fun. And there's that little bit of like, oh, we need that little bit of extra spice. Here's what we could sprinkle on this mix. And that's gear talk. And what tonight has made very clear, in case you were wondering, I definitely don't come into this stream with an agenda. It is very dependent on what is coming in, and I'm, you know, the conversation is steered towards whatever is in this inbox during the duration of the stream. I think I've gone from just, talking about very, very general audio things to just sprinkling in some hints of detailed information, all the way up to just, a big old love fest of thanks of being a human that exists. Sometimes it's nice to be able to just have a snare drum to listen to, you know? All right. As we're approaching the last 10 minutes of the Open Studio Christmas 2020 live stream, I'll just go ahead and deliver the spiel once or twice more. This is a ton of Open Studio. If you're just walking in, wondering what's going on, this is a nightly mix feedback stream. I'm here daily at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. You can send tracks to atonuvrecords at gmail.com. If for whatever reason you can't make that stream, but you still want to send something in, from here on out, as this has been an issue as we get stuff from like all over the place, I'm going to record the segments where the person isn't in chat that's sent in a track. And then that way I can upload that separately and you can find your segment without needing to comb through a 3-hour live stream. That's the big news of the day, y'all. So changing up the format a little bit to make it more convenient to the people that can't be here during this time. Now, for the people that can make it, 6 p.m. Eastern, daily. You can send tracks, get some feedback on a mix, figure out what's going on. As this is a daily stream, one of the things that's really cool about this is people will take some feedback, take some notes, tighten up their mix, and then turn it around the next day. And we can keep on working on revisions back and forth on stream over a series of days. And I've seen things go from being like pretty good all the way up to amazing. Like we've had some really, really cool stuff happen on stream. That's why I'm stoked to do it. That's why I'm stoked to be here. It's becoming a very, very cool. It's becoming a really cool moment of my day, for sure. And it's just becoming this cool thing. Really, big energy, big vibe. All right. We're going to wind on down. We're hitting the last 5 minutes or so of tonight's stream. If anyone's just been like furiously working on bouncing something down and sending it in, I'll still happily take a look at it. If not, it was really, really cool to be here. I'll be here tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, and the day after that, and the day after that, etc., etc. Feel free to send stuff in at absolutely any time to atonuvrecords@gmail.com. That link is over my forehead right now. And absolutely any genre, at any stage in the production process, happy to take a listen. If you've got something that you've been working on and it's still like a rough demo, all the way up to it is totally and completely done and you absolutely don't want it to get leaked to a bunch of people before your release date, just let me know in your email and I'll play it off stream so that it doesn't get played out to a bunch of people. And also, if you've got something that's like a cover or you are doing vocals over like a tagged beat, please let me know in the email so that I can mute it on stream so we don't get copyright clapped, because that would be a bummer. So yeah, those 3 instances, happy to mute the stream and listen privately. And at any time, folks can ask questions in chat about absolutely anything audio related. I'm happy to facilitate that discussion, maybe answer your question or give you a whole set of new questions that are going to guide you into an even cooler place in your audio journey. That's always sweet. All right, y'all. Really cool to hang out. We'll be back tomorrow. Send those tracks in. Have a very, very good holiday. All holidays up to the new year. Let's stay safe. Let's stay as happy and fulfilled as possible. I would say that the easiest way to achieve a sense of peace and happiness at this exact moment is to dial in some mixes and, make some really, really great music in this time. It's personally helping me out. I'll see everybody tomorrow. I am,